Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anything But Hold'em. I'm here playing the $1.10 horse tournament on Stars, which starts at 7:10 p.m. my time. So just underway. I've just folded my first hand of the game, Jack 3. Pretty reasonable fold and limit hold'em, I think. So yeah, welcome here. Added a few bits of graphics to the screen. As you can see, I am throwing my webcam up today, just kind of as a test to see how it goes, see what it goes like. I really don't like the setup I have right now in the office for the background and everything for what it looks like. I think that might be changing in the relatively near future. So yeah, I figured I'd throw it on, give it a try, see how it goes. So hi, here I am. Hello, hello. Welcome to Anything But Hold'em. This is me. This is me above, as you can see. The still picture playing live in Knots. This is me below, live here in my office playing online. What else have I added? Down here on the bottom of the screen, we have got, I used to have a line, just a line of text that I typed in with my profits for the season. This is actually a live screenshot of the spreadsheet that is tracking my results for the season. So you can see right now, as of today's $1.10 main event buy-in, we are $489.99 in the profit. We're calling with the 9-6, I think, here. We've hit second pair. The Jack of Hearts obviously isn't a card that I'm terribly happy with. I'm probably check folding here most of the time. What are the odds that I'm good here? Probably there's probably some number that represents the odds that I'm good in that spot. That number is going to be very low, I think. $10-4. The 1970s police hand, as I like to call it. 10-4, good buddy. CB hand, police hand. Full hand, limit hold'em. If I do end up on camera a lot, you will notice that I quite often have slush with me. That is my fuel for grinding. If you're not from Canada and you don't know what a slush is, it's basically frozen, crushed ice mixed with various kinds of flavoring, whether it be orange crush or cream soda, or usually Coke or Pepsi in my case. Other cola products, of course, are available, and Coke and Pepsi are not paying me any support for any money for promotion. And of course, if either of them were, I'd be in a lot of trouble for mentioning them both in the same sentence. However, the fact that nobody is paying me anything means that I can mention Coke and Pepsi in the same sentence as much as I'd like, and it's just the way things go. So yeah, you'll see massive slush cups on the stream here quite a bit if the webcam ends up staying on. So yeah, here we are. I got moving on to new things in season 2, and we got stuff happening. This is a tournament that starts with 1,800 chips. There is 10 minutes of late registration, so I don't know yet quite how many people are playing or what the prize pools are. Do some updating on that once that gets sorted out. Once we start to know what we've got. 5-10 obviously would have gone badly for us here. Not that it ever is going to go well for you. Look around the table, not a ton of people that I recognize here, although the person who was just up in this seat I noticed just as they popped away was Ebony Adder, who I know quite well from the Raz tournaments that I play a lot, so definitely someone to keep an eye on here in a horse like this. I like the horses a lot. Of course, I like all of the games where you're playing different games on a rotation because it really does I find, keep me on my toes and keep me thinking about what's happening in the games and what the next game is and stuff like that. So we've just been moved to another table. There's Ebony Adder up above us on the left. Definitely somebody that keep our eye on. I've mostly seen Ebony in the context of Raz or Stud High Low, so that's probably where I'm going to. So that's probably where I'm going to be the most fearful of Ebony Adder because of because that's where I know them from. But I also, I'm sure I've seen Ebony in design as somebody I know from the PSO quite a bit and the home games. Hello, 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 everybody. Say hello in chat. Let me know what you think of my ugly face here on the stream live. So far, the limit hold'em phase of the horse has been pretty uneventful for us. Haven't had a lot of cards to work with, and limit hold'em is a pretty mechanical game in a lot of cases. There's not a whole lot you can do without position and without cards, and even with position, a lot of times, especially in the lower stakes games, and I'm not necessarily going to say lower skilled stuff, but people are far more interested in chasing down in limit hold'em just because the pot odds get so absurdly large as you get deeper into the hands, because you can only bet so much, right? So the pot gets huge and you can still only bet 20 chips. So I really think that you really have to play pretty ABC to be successful at limit poker. $10-3, get rid of that. We've really had pretty crap hands for the most part for the hold'em phase. So, I'm pretty happy with the way I think. Well, we'll get some hands. We'll be able to play here as time goes on. Limit hold'em's always the part of the horse phase that I'm the least enamored with. Anyways, I love the high-low stuff, so I love the Omaha high-low and the stud 8, and I love the Raz, and the stud is fun, so, I just I kind of put up with limit hold'em so I can get to the other 4 games in horse. That's sort of the way I see, horse. So I look at the H in horse. I am, for the record, also playing a Premier League off screen at the moment, as I often am when I'm playing something on stream. Actually doing reasonably well in the Premier League this month. I just had a close to final table this afternoon that's going to actually boost my points quite a bit, I think. So let me just have a quick refresh on that page. It should be up by now for this afternoon. I'm fairly deep in this one too. I've got 7,505 chips at 100, 200, so I'm doing okay. And yeah, I just moved up. I'm in 50th spot for the monthly standings in the PSO now, so we're doing pretty well. This is actually probably the highest I've been sort of this late in the month. Hopefully we can have a pretty solid finish at the end of the month. Ace 6 of clubs. Suited aces are always reasonably good hands to get involved with in a limit sense and see what flops. Don't think we need to go crazy and raise at this stage, but that's kind of weird that we obviously had some sort of a table shuffle because design ended up over here on my left now, which is a weird spot. Now he's raised pre-flop. Now he's let out again on a reasonably low board. It's not really expected to hit a lot of pre-flop raisers, I wouldn't think, but that kind of tells me I'm going to put him on a pair of some kind. Relatively high one. I'm thinking jacks, queens, kings, aces, something like that, just because of the sort of way he's been going. It could be an ace king, in which case I've possibly lost some value. But this is also again limit hold'em, where you're not really going to push people off of pots a whole lot by bluffing, so it's not really worth your time. Set of sevens. You have to pull that hand up and see what design was playing there. Let me just have a quick look at the hand history. Design mucks a pair of fours. That's pretty harsh, but kind of the way it's going to go. Fold that one, no low possibilities, so we're getting out of the way on that a lot of times. Say hello in chat. Let me know who's out there. I will do my best to not cough in your ear, even though I am now going to be coughing in your face on the camera. But that's the way it goes. Hey, Daz, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here. And now, actually, for a change, you can see me. Hey, buddy. Two pair and a decent low hand for Andreas. I don't know if that's Andrea SK or Andreas K something. K19. I'm going to go with given that they're from Estonia, I'm going to go with Andreas K19 and not Andrea SK19. If they'd be from Canada, I would have gone with Andrea SK19 and put them down as somebody from Saskatchewan, as a lady from Saskatchewan in Canada. Because he's from Estonia, I'm putting him down as Andreas K19, and I'm putting him down as some sort of a young grinder Estonian kid. So there you go. That's how you can play with names. It's probably completely ridiculous on both counts, but hey, there you go. When names can go either way like that, you got to find some way to break the tie, right? So that is not Andrea from Saskatchewan. That is Andreas from Estonia. Yeah, we would have rivered the straight there against the flush. Lost a bunch of chips probably. So probably good to be rid of the hand. Another one that there's no low possibility, so why bother to play stuff where there's no low and you don't have much of a chance, right? Three jacks obviously would have been kind of nice, but on an all diamond flop, you're really not that happy when there's like four people in an Omaha hand, five people in an Omaha hand, because somebody's freaking got diamonds. There's no question about that. It seems like. So, I mean, I think well, now that the board pairs, you're a little happier to be there with your set of jacks. But even there, I mean, sure, we're in this particular example, we would have ended up with a full house, and with on a board with no low. But you got to ask yourself, how often is that going to happen, and how often are we going to end up in tiers holding a set of jacks against a flush on a board that does have a low that we're not playing to? And I think that the latter scenario is going to be a heck of a lot more frequent than the former scenario when you're looking at a hand like Jack, Jack, Queen, 3 on a high-low board. So, yeah, I don't envy you guys from Europe trying to do the Sunday grind. It's pretty much in my sweet spot when I want to play things like the Storm and stuff like that. Because I mean, the Storm starts at 11:30 in the morning for me, so I can sit down at the Storm with my lunch and sort of, if I go super deep, maybe expect to cash and have a nice big paycheck around midnight or something like that. Whereas with you, it's just a lot, it's a lot more of a overnight kind of all night kind of deal. So um, I really do, and have sort of a lot of respect for you guys who do the grind from over in the UK or Europe. Oh well, our low draw and our highs are pretty weak at this point, so I think we're probably check folding again on this hand. It's been pretty brutal. Been pretty brutal for us here tonight. Nice one, man, on the 50 inch. I'm there. How's it going, buddy? Nice to be on the 50 inch. I think we're pretty weak on both ends now. The hitting the 4 just really cripples the low, the low that we had, and the low that we had was pretty good. So, I mean, I'm really, yeah, it's just not going to work out well for us a lot on a situation like that. Yeah, I just saw the Twitter. I was just looking at my Twitter, buddy. This is awesome, everybody. Just so that you can see what he's doing. Uh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. No, I guess not. I'm going to go retweet that on my timeline. That's awesome, man. And sorry I missed your question. I was not paying attention to my Twitter at the time, I guess. I should pay more attention to the Twitters. But I don't know. This is actually a fairly. I guess if I just stumbled across somebody doing this, it would actually be a fairly complex process. I mean, I've got the poker going here on the one screen. I've got my broadcast software running on the other screen where I've got it all kind of laid out, and I'm, not really doing a ton with that, but I'm watching it to make sure that there's no errors coming up and stuff like that. Um, I've got my TV tuned to the Twitch channel to make sure that it's all coming out properly at the end of the day on the internet on Twitch. Um, so yeah, I mean it's a fairly complex process that that goes on, but it's fun. It's really not profitable to look at what would have happened if you'd have called instead of folding usually, but you know, again, this is another one where we would have hit two pair in this case. It's not necessarily going to win us a pot when there's three spades on the flop. In fact, it's probably not going to win us the pot a lot when there's three spades on the flop, frankly. Oh, that's right. You're in Thailand. I forgot. Yes, that's. Oh, yes, and that's even worse. There, you're just. It just is totally messed up for you. Yeah, you're like starting in the middle of the night, aren't you, for the Sundays then? Yeah, that would totally be a rough grind for the Sundays. Uh, don't obviously have the best equity in this pot. We don't have any straight draw possibilities at all. Basically, we're just sitting at a pair of queens now with the king on board. It's pretty unlikely that the queens are good at this point, so I think just getting rid of them is probably the best thing to do. We've been doing a lot of folding in this game so far. Uh, so they go sometimes. Obviously, if this was HoldEm, we'd be cursing our fold because we just turned a straight. But this is Omaha, so we did not just turn a straight. King, king, jack, five. This is probably one that I'm getting involved with. At least to see a flop. I mean, there's going to be times when the flop comes and there's no low. It's not one of those times, but it does actually bring the second nut flush draw. So I think we're check calling on this a lot. Clearly, we're at best splitting the pot if we hit our flush. Yeah, I don't know. It's questionable. This could really be a bad call, frankly. But I think I'm probably committed at this point, so we're going to see it through to the end, and that may just be bad play on my part. Well, yeah, especially when you don't hit the spade. Now that said, my pair of kings could still be good here, and probably are going to be good here a reasonable amount of the time. So I don't think I can get rid of anything for wow at aces. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Deuce 5-9. Not thrilled with the 9, but the 9 is not horrible in a Raz context. Of course, it plays in Raz. Doesn't play in the high-low, but it plays in Raz. Any card plays, in theory, in Raz. You can win a Raz hand with a... you could win a Raz hand with full house, queens full of jacks, if the other player happens to have a full house, aces full of kings. So everything plays in Raz, which is one of the sort of quirks. This is obviously a nice draw for us. Still drawing nice. Ebony is definitely looking like she's developing a strong hand. Um, and I think at this point I need to slow down a bit because I know that my 97 could easily be behind her 96. That said, if she's checking to me, don't really think I can. Don't really think I can value bet. Yeah. Although I was ahead of her right up until the river, until seventh came. Yeah, no worries, Daz. You let me know. Let me know what you're looking for, and I'm happy to help you out. It's pretty. I mean, I say it's complex. It's complex in one sense, but it's really easy in another sense. I mean, it literally took me about an hour from sort of initial concept to getting my first stream live up on Twitch. Um, so it's not certainly not difficult, and I mean, I think if you're sort of half adept at um, computer stuff, you're probably going to figure it out pretty quickly. But I'm happy to help you and answer questions, whatever I can. The basic first question that needs answering is open broadcast software is what I'm using. That's the name of it that I'm using to do the broadcasting with. And from what I've seen, it's a free open source piece of software, and it does everything that you need it to do. So that may as well be what you start with. There may well be advantages to going to another one later on, but at this point, I mean, I think open broadcast software as a free solution is probably your best bet to start off with. So, and it doesn't take much to dress up the channel either. I mean, I threw together the background with a fairly minimal amount of graphic skills. Um, you, of course, could easily have stuff professionally designed, which I think guys like Jason Somerville and so on probably do, and I think that Jamie Staples is probably going to a while, but it's relatively easy to just throw your own stuff on there as well. So, um, putting the webcam on here is as simple as adding a video to the open broadcast screen, and it sees your webcam plugged into your USB port and pulls that up as one of the video sources, and that's what you say, and boom, there you go, I'm up on the screen. And you move it around and size it how you want it, put it where you want, and away you go. Oh, we're still playing Raz. I don't like the king in the background, so I'm just going to get rid of that, I think. Been pretty brutal game so far. We basically don't think I've won a hand at all yet, actually. Looks like Iron Lady's got the best of this one. Yep, yep. Appears like design might be a little tilty at the moment. Yes, it would appear like the design is a bit tilty at the moment. Raising Queen 9 against Jack 8 is probably not a good. Got lucky with the draw, obviously. I think Adder has a good chance of taking this one down. Yep. Tilty. Design's gone on a bit of a tilt run. Surprised he didn't bring in for the full completion that time. Oh, 87, 74, 71. I got to call through for another street at least here. Yeah, no problem, man. It's and like I say, I'm certainly happy to help out. I certainly want to help anybody who wants to get involved in this because I think it's a great new way to promote poker to the mainstream, and I think that's an important part of poker right now is getting it out of the realm of the casino and into the realm of gaming, which is more what it is. And I mean, I guess even gaming has two different words to it, but it really is less about gambling than it is about strategy play. Gambling obviously is an element of it, but I think doing this sort of thing. So I want to help encourage anybody that I can to um, come out and Twitch, and I'm certainly happy to help you get started. So yeah, send me a DM and we can chat about what you need to do. I will be your first follower. I think I'm following you already actually, but um, I'll definitely be there watching if I can. I'm going to continue on with the non-Hold'em games. I think for the most part here on anything but Hold'em, I think that the Hold'em area has got a lot of people in it that are already doing a good job of that. Probably a better job than I'm going to be able to do most of the time. So, fairly happy to leave that to folks like that and uh, stick here with my uh, mixed games, which I seem to have a bit of an edge at. Design is done in a tilty 36th place. We have actually gone through, so let's have a look at the final numbers. Total of 40 people entered, 35 left in the tournament. $14.80 up top. Sixth place Min Cash gets $2.20, so basically double what we bought into the tournament with. Oh yes, pair kings, just what you want to see on 4th and 5th Street in a Raz hand. We'll get rid of that. Not too far off our break coming up here. Ace 5, Queen, we're still playing Raz, so that's actually a playable hand. I don't like the Queen behind. Things have not been drawing out well for us, so I think that drawing out when you got one last card to work with is probably not a good plan for me at the moment. So Fold this one, I think, in a Raz context. One of the things I don't like about having the webcam on me all the time is I've got a whole bunch of nervous tics, and that's going to be showing up on camera all the time. So, I don't know. That's life, I suppose. That's just me. I'm currently sitting in 30th spot out of 35 remaining people in here, but again, that's not really relevant at this stage of the game. What's relevant is that I've got chips and I can play the hands I want to play at this point. I just need to get the right hand to bump me up quite a bit. Yeah, I totally agree, Dazzler. I think that's the next. I think poker on Twitch is the next big thing. Um, so it's gonna be a blast to be part of it, I think. It's funny. It never really occurred to me to do this until I started to see Jason Somerville uh, doing it. But then I'd never really been a part of the Twitch community where I hadn't really watched other people stream their gaming either. So I don't know. It's a new concept, but I really quite enjoy it. Um, it is funny how many people ask you about snipers coming into the stream and looking at your whole card information and stuff like that, and it really doesn't feel terribly relevant to me. Obviously, three nutted hearts. I'm going to be playing that all day, every day of the year. Um, I hate the fact that both of these guys got hearts and I didn't, but that's the way poker goes sometimes. I will call one more street of betting, almost certainly. That's really, when you're rolled up with hearts or rolled up with a suit there, and it just comes out like that, it's really quite nasty. And that king basically means all we're left drawing to is pairs. Uh, Otherwise playing our ace king high. Pair of nines. Guess I'm probably not folding at this point, but I'm not hugely confident that pair of nines is the best hand. Yep, like I figured. Pair of eights with an ace. I think I'm going to be involved in this one again. See how things develop. Stud, I should remind viewers, has never been my best game. It's not my best version of stud. My best version of stud is stud high low or Raz. Certainly not stud high. But it's fun. I like playing it as part of the rotation. I rarely play it on its own, but I like playing it as part of the rotations. So basically, got to 6th Street, and we still only got a pair of eights. So I don't really think that it's going to be profitable to continue very often at that point. We have to start looking at stack preservation and or doubling at this point too. So throwing chips in when we've less of a chance is not gonna we can't pay that off. can't be paying those off on chases very much anymore. Alrighty. Some nice, we were able to close the action there. Got some nice Broadway cards, so we'll see if we can catch some more Broadway. Once again, everybody around me got Broadway cards, and I missed the Broadway cards. That's kind of bitey. I'd have taken either the king or the queen. Either of them give me happy, or the 10 or the jack over here. Either, you know. This just feels like one of those games where everything's going to go wrong for me. I'm going to get just enough of the pots to um, keep putting money in, and it's going to end up badly for me at the end of the. Oh well, this one's not going to end up badly for me. There's no way that he's got fours full of jacks beat. That was pretty sick. 7 cards straight he had going there. We are certainly not drawing out to our flushes very well today. Hello, 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 Matt. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here. Nice to have you around. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. I just think, it's not working well for us today. Well, I guess it did on that last hand, but I don't think relying on running out runner to a full house is probably not going to be the best strategy for me in the long term, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great. I think it's a great medium for sure. Um, and I mean, I think that there's tons of possibilities. I think that there's some stars home games out there that nobody in the world knows about except for the 8 or 10 high stakes players that play them. Um, and those guys might have names like Mercier or Mercier and or Duhamel or Roy or um, all sorts of people like that. And queens and tens, yeah, I don't really think there's anything I can do but call here, nor anything that I want to do but call there. So yeah, I mean, I think that that's a great chance. And if you could grab, if you're part of one of those home games and you want to be able to stream that in a way, you can get the guys on the webcams if if you even want to go to that extreme. It's just so, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think it's an amazing. There's amazing possibilities here. I'm hoping at some point this season to get Ken Lowe on with me to do some commentary and maybe play some mixed games with us as well. Get him on probably for an 8 game or a horse or something. Um, Geez, I wonder if he's available on Thursday to come on with me during the 25 game. That'd be pretty fun. Um, have to see how that goes. But alrighty, well, we're hitting a break now. I got to go do some custodial stuff, so I'm going to turn the mic and the camera off for a few minutes, and I'll be back. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably is at PCA. I think we talked about the 25 game. He said something about him just getting home from PCA on that day or something like that. So video camera back on. Action back on the table. Pair of threes in our limit stud round, and a whole bunch of trash talk at the table while we were gone, apparently. Newborough and 6 cents. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see a 4th Street here. Just realized when I've got ice in my mouth, that probably sounds horrible on the camera now, or on the microphone now that I'm thinking about it. I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm such an unprofessional streamer. I just sit here and chew and drink and swallow and cough and clear my throat and do all sorts of twitchy, nervous things on the camera while, and I just don't give a damn about what you guys think. Yeah, my pair of threes are looking pretty ugly at this point, so we'll get into that hand. I'm through into the positive points in the Premier League I'm playing. By the look of things on the standings now, so I can start to play a little bit more. So I can play a little bit more aggressively over there. Yeah, I think it makes sense, and I'm sure he mentioned. I'm sure he mentioned it to me, Matt, that that he was going to be there as well. Now that you guys have mentioned that, when I was talking with him about the mixed game stuff, I'm sure he mentioned that. I'm thinking now that I've got. I think I might do some rearranging of my scene here now that I've got this. If we do something like this. And then here, we can get just a little bit more of that going. Yeah, I think high-low, we're gonna play that one. I'm gonna shove my king 10, 8 big blinds over on the PSO table and hope for the best. How often is the sevens going to be the best hand on the top end here? I don't necessarily think I'm drawing out to a great low, but I am still drawing out to a low. I think the sevens is going to be best here a reasonable amount of the time. I I mean, I'm pretty sure that my low is beat to Pivo. But again, I think my sevens are good for high a reasonable amount of the time here. So, and especially now that MM's folded, I think my sevens are good for high. Well, maybe not. I mean, there's straights and stuff out there, obviously, but I don't think obviously I can go anywhere at this point. So, yep, and he's hit the straight. Yeah, you're probably right, Matt. I'm sure he won't be able to come on for that one. We did talk, and he is very interested in coming on, though. I think I might actually. This is maybe a bit of a spoiler for for later on, but I think I might actually have a copy of his book to give away on the stream at some point. So I might have to come up with some sort of a weird, bizarre contest to for stream viewers to win a copy of his book. There we go. So I think that gives us the. And actually, I can put this above the Twitch chat and be, because you don't need to see the chat window. All you need to see is what people have typed. So there we go. That I think is perfect. So if you do that a little bit and then grab our Twitch chat and boom, there we go. Yeah, 556. I think we're going to play that on the stud high low table. Go one more street. Blah. The 9 is just a crappy card for me in this spot. Really got very little value for it. It's probably a check fold, almost certainly. Dazzler, the Premier League is the PSO skill league stuff. They've got the Open League and then the Premier League on top of that, and it's free roll entries with a $10 prize pool on each game, but then there's monthly stats. It keeps track of your position over the month in each of the games you play and gives you points. Or the nice thing I like about the point structure in the Prem is that it gives you points for finishing well, but it subtracts points from you when you bust really early. So like if you just shove a crappy hand on the first hand, get called, and go out, you lose 16 points. So it actually penalizes you for going out too early, which is kind of a novel way to do the point structure, and I kind of like that. Um, so yeah, and at the end of the month, it's significant prizes. I don't get significant prizes for any of the games that I play individually in a month, but at the end of the month, there is significant prizes up for grabs. I think depending on VPP levels, your top prize if you finish first for the month in the Prem, I believe is 5,000. I believe it's $5,000. So it's significant. So we've got 4 cards to Broadway over here. Not much happening in low. Still 4 cards to Broadway. Not much happening in low. So I think we're just, we're not ahead of the fives at all, and we still aren't. So this is a fold. This is folding. Hey, Hammer, good to see you. Yes, you've got real Lyle today. You have got real Elron, real Lyle, whatever you want to call him. Pixel Elron has taken the day off, and Flesh Elron is here in the live Flash. Hello. Although I guess technically I'm still Pixel Lyle to you because I'm coming across the interwebs and being displayed to you almost certainly through pixels on a screen of some form or another, I'm guessing. I don't think too many of you guys are going to be watching me on an analog screen anymore. That seems pretty unlikely in 2015. Although certainly possible. I guess there might still be some cathode ray tube uh, purists out there. Seems a bit silly at this point to be to be working with cathode ray tubes, but hey, you never know. What have you missed? You've missed me losing a lot of horse hands. Basically, is what you've missed, Hammer, and me on webcam. So those are your basic things you missed. Yeah, no, certainly. If you win the book, I will post her to the UK for you. Once I figure out how we're going to give it away, and once I nail down the details with Ken. Bah. Brick Derlot got no high. That's what you've missed, Hammer. This hand is a perfect example of what you've missed. We brick our low, and we brick our high. That's the way it's been going today. Suited diamonds, ace king. Going to be playing that fairly regularly, I think. Going to continue with the diamond coming. Our lows are bad at this point, but so is everybody else that we're playing against, so that does connect with our low, but it doesn't really connect anywhere else, and it doesn't connect super well with our low. Newborough is almost certainly drawing to a better low than us, so we're going to fold that, I think. Yes, running total. That's the other new thing that you've missed today. That's the live graph from the Google sheet, which for the record you can go examine um, all of the details that make up that running total if you like on the Google sheet, which is linked below the channel on one of the panels down there below the channel. So go and click that, and you can examine all of the details of how the $489.99 that we currently have in our bankroll got into our bankroll. You'll find most of it came in the form of one daily Omaha high-low win, but that's the way it's going to go. And it's funny, I was chatting with a guy playing cash games earlier today, and he was saying how his cash profit graph kind of slow ticks upwards, and then there's a big drop when he gets it all in with the second nuts against the nuts, and then it's slow upwards again, and then it's a big drop. And it's funny, my tournament graph is exactly the reverse. It's slowly losing money until you get a big score, and then it's slowly losing money until you get a big score. So it's kind of fun that cash and tournament you're completely reversed in the way the hands go. Thank you, Hammer. Much obliged. I don't mind having real Lyle on this screen. I'm not thrilled with the way my office is set up for a backdrop at the moment, and I think that the backdrop is pretty crappy at the moment. So that's hopefully going to change in the next little while, and it'll have a better backdrop that the webcam will work a little bit better for. The other problem, of course, is that with the webcam and the being live on here, I forget that I'm on camera sometimes, and you get to see all of my nervous weird ticks, and and things like that. And I pull up my shirt and I'm scratching my nose and I scratch my beard and I pull up my beard and I kind of scratch my head and I do stuff like this. So it's you guys will be seeing that on stream all the time. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just the way that's just who I am when the camera's not on, and there's nothing I can do about it. So you guys will have to deal with all of my nervous tics, I guess, unfortunately. Right. Well, New Burrow's just come back from being offline for a while. Our pair of aces with an ace deuce and a high-low game is going to be the best hand pretty much 100% of the time. And I mean, I think we're still going to be the best 100% of the time, but we'll just let him call at this stage. And I think we're going to put him all in at this point, make him play for his whole stack. Wow. And I mean, seriously, how often is that going to happen, right? Well, that was a short-lived horse evening tonight, I suppose. Um, I mean, I obviously think in stud high-low, what am I going to do with ace deuce uh, other than do exactly what I just did? So, yeah, PS is rigged. PS is rigged. Alrighty, so that was fun. It's nice. Sorry, Hammer, you came and yeah, Hammer was around when I binked the high low. She's been, Hammer's being a bit um, sarcastic, I think, and ironic with that comment. Just gonna have a quick look at the lobby before I finish the stream off here. See if there's anything else that I want to play. Yeah, actually there is. This one's gonna be a bit of a weird one because it's super turbo. But let's go ahead and play a 220 triple stud that is hyper turbo. So that's going to be starting here in a couple of minutes. So I'll let you go. I'm sorry, I'm gonna look at my phone here for a second. I've got a text from a good friend. Right. So the triple stud is going to be coming up here very shortly. I am going to get that sorted out on my stream when it comes up. For right now, we've got the uh, well, why don't we keep this on? Of course, this one might not be lasting much longer either, so we'll see how that goes before I do anything else on stream here. Yep, looks like we're done in this one. So, oh no, we split. Whoa, lucky me. Yeah, I'll try my best not to pick my nose, but unfortunately, no guarantees. That's going to be a little tough. That's okay. I know you only just got here. That's one of the reasons why I jumped into the triple stud, which I'm about to put on the screen, which I'm about to add to the screen now. Gonna fold the king 5 here. Give me a couple of seconds. I just don't know if I have another table up. No, I do not have another table up. Limit stud is going to get folded with that hand, I think. So let's add a window capture, which in this case is going to be the 220 triple stud turbo. And there it is. And we're going to go like this. Something like that, I think, for now. That's where, with the two-table layout, I guess, that's where having the chat window up here doesn't work so well. But here we are. This is the $2.20 triple stud turbo. I think if you were around with me way back when we banked the, I think it was the 550, no, the $11 triple stud, one of the two, maybe even 22. I'm not sure. I was talking about this one not being a game that I like to play because it's so fast, the levels. You'll see what I'm talking about when we go through here, but there are actually times where you actually skip levels. It takes so long to play through hands. Alrighty, Daz. Well, glad I can help you out with your beer drinking entertainment. Pair of jacks. Obviously, we're putting our money in with that. All we can do is get our money in, see what happens. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now that's a very pretty Raz hand for the record. Ace, deuce, 3. It's a very pretty Raz hand. The pair deuce, not so pretty. Not something I'm going to get away from yet, though. Aces and deuces paired is obviously not so pretty. He doesn't know I've got a paired ace, though. But for the time being, see, that's a good card for our hand, and it's a good card also visually for us. So we're going to take this pot down almost all the time with this bet, even though we don't have a hand. Where it doesn't matter now that we've actually drawn the 6, but in other cases, it actually works out well for us. But we're taking this down all the time. We've got the best hand. This is always going to be the best hand. I mean, I suppose there's 5 hands in 100 that I'm not best there, but I'm best most of the time. Ace 5, 10 in Raz. I'll get rid of that, I think. Yeah, you on Twitter, Hammer? I don't think we're hooked up on Twitter. Yeah, not a Twitter girl. Not a Twitterer. It is, My buddy Anthony Charter's birthday tomorrow from PokerStars, so I should probably send out a quick happy birthday message to him. Not sure if he's watching tonight or not, but say happy birthday to him. Yes, Hammer, this is the $2.20 triple stud on Stars, the one that is super turbo. I think we got 2-minute levels or 3-minute levels at most. 2-minute levels. So yeah, it's pretty turbo. I suppose we finished on the horse, so I can get rid of the horse lobby. And there's the triple stud lobby. With players, with us in 4th position. We're still going deepish in the Premier League. Let's try this. There we go. That's more of the answer. Alrighty, jump on in, Hammer. I should probably shove this 7-5 on the small blind, but I'm not gonna. I don't really think the same shove fold charts apply in the Premier League quite as much, simply because the point structure changes. You can actually make a profit in the Premier League by folding instead of shoving in spots like that, because you will ladder up positions, which gives you extra points, which pushes you up the standings for the end of the month, and it will actually give you a profit. So yeah, I mean, there's actually reasons why you don't necessarily go exactly by the same push fold charts that you would for a normal tournament. Alrighty, Hammer, good to see ya. We are in there. Good friend of the stream, Hammer, is in the triple stud with us now. Awesome. Didn't get onto our stream, or didn't get onto our table, but that's cool. Yeah. Well, then you can play 1.5 of the games, right, Hammer? Because really, I mean, triple stud. What is triple stud? Triple stud is stud, stud 8, and Raz, right? So if you can only play Raz, you can play the Raz side, so that's a third of it. Stud 8 is half Raz, so you've got like 1.5. You've got exactly half the game, so you should be doing okay. For the record, at the moment in the Premier League, I am currently sitting 22nd of the remaining 40 players, with 36 cashing. I think I'm going to play this with the ace-3. Oh, that king is a crappy Raz card, especially with the buried 9. I'm getting out of this hand while I can, while I still can. Come on, Daz. There's still 3 minutes late registration for you. Of course, by the time you hear this, those 3 minutes will be gone since I'm on a 3-minute delay. So, yeah, when you hear this, you won't be able to reg anymore. But jump in and play with us. It's like a super turbo 2-minute round, so it's not going to last very long. There's only 15 people in it at the moment, and registration ends in 3 minutes, so it's not going to last. It's not going to be a long. It's not going to be a long night. We're not going to be here for hours. I'm thinking 2 hours tops. That's the other problem with the webcam on. You see my massive mug of slush all the time. Oh well. We'll just have to live with it. Well, we're both going to be losing at stud. That's stud high. I'm doing okay at the high low, but pair of sevens with 7-3-4. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to put some money in the pot. Oh, they're raising me. That's cool. I shall call. Oh, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. That's a nice card for us. 7-6, 4-3 ace. We're going to be ahead of Pink Candy Kiss almost all the time for low. We're going to be not ahead of iFold all the time, but a fair amount of the time. Not ahead of anybody this time for anything, but that's, going to happen sometimes. Limit stud, 3-6-7 rainbow. That's not something that we're going to get involved with. Alrighty, that's my massive mug of slush done. Now we're into the massive thermos of hot chocolate. Which hammer, you'll be happy to know, I actually put chocolate in this time before I made it. Well, I should really have a drink of that first before I verify, just to verify that I did put chocolate in this time and it's not just hot water again. Wouldn't even be hot milky water in this case because I don't think I made it with milk this time. I think I just put chocolate and water in. Ah, yes, I did remember the chocolate, so that's good. Oh, shovey on the Premier League table. Foldy on the Raz table. Cool, Daz. Yeah, hope to see you on one of our in some of this stuff. It's fun to be able to. It's fun to be able to play some of these. I'm gonna keep playing these. I usually wouldn't go. I mean, I guess 110 is sort of the bottom of my range now that I'll be playing. I'm still gonna play some of them. I'm gonna be aiming more at the 220, 330, and 440, 550 level of these. So I don't think there's a ton of the 330 and 440 in the mixed games. So I'm probably going to be looking at 220s and 550s for the mixed games um, over the next while, and still obviously trying to satellite into the dailies and the weeklies. Um, Even with the big score for the daily last week, it was still only 20 buy-ins at that level, at the $27 level. So it's not really. I still don't have a bankroll to be able to be buying directly into those. Yeah, no worries, Hammer. I understand. You go ahead and concentrate on your play. I apparently need to as well because I'm way below you. Oh, Steve-O! Steve-O's in. Our good buddy Steve-O is in. King 10 on the prim table. That's pretty close. Do I want to shove over top of? Nah. Wait for a better spot there. No, not milky water this time. I actually got chocolate. I actually got chocolate and water this time. Pretty amazing. We have the technology to produce hot chocolate here. I'm actually surprised at how good the lighting on the camera is, considering I've got no extra lighting other than just the room lighting going on here. The lighting off the screens. I was kind of surprised. Yes, I am well prepared. Time here right now is 8:39 p.m. according to my digital clock on my menu bar for Windows. I am in the Mountain Standard Time Zone at the moment, Mountain Daylight Time Zone in the summertime. Um, and it is 2 hours behind Eastern Time, which is where New York is and what you often see on American TV programs and things like that. So it's 8:40 here. It would be at 10:40 p.m. in places like New York right now. Alrighty, so in the money over on the Premier League table here, which is awfully good for our points. It's not going to give us a ton of money. It looks like pennies. $2 if win tonight, so it's not a huge thing for a bankroll. We'll play it for points for the monthly standings. Pair of fives and Raz, never really going to be a terribly great spot to be playing with. Ace deuce 10 on the other hand, that's a little bit more playable. Ace deuce 5, pretty happy with that. Gonna throw some money in the pot. We look like we got the best hand here, and I want to thin the field out a little bit. Pink makes sense for Pink Candy Kiss to call. It doesn't really make sense for either of these two guys to call. My bet at this stage. It probably. I'm needing to draw runner at this point. I think that the odds that Pink Candy Kiss has hit a made low at this point are pretty big. So I need to draw runner under a 7, and that's not going to happen very often. So I think we got to get rid of the hand there most of the time. It's just not going to end well for us on most of the runouts in that situation, I don't think. Foldy. Kind of like 5 big blinds on the Premier League table. But again, as I said, that's not really as relevant over there as it is in another situation. And when I play these and I get down, you're going to see me. It's very frustrating when that happens, Hammer, when you get a bunch of crap Raz hands and it's the only game that you feel like you want to play. That is the most frustrating thing in the world. And what's even worse is that it'll tick over into the stud round, and you'll start seeing the ace 3-4s and the 2-4-6s and things like that at that point. You'll be like, what the hell, Most of the time when I come on stream, I'm going to do my best to have the profit sheet updated to include the games that I'm playing at the moment and everything I've played up to that particular spot. That's the case today. This is reflective of the $1.10 we paid to buy into this triple stud. Since we didn't pay anything to buy into the Prem, I can throw it up on the stream without affecting the bankroll very much. I don't know whether it's reasonable for me to add the pennies that I make today to our bankroll, but I equally don't think that it's terribly relevant to do that, so I'm probably not going to bother. Yeah, I'm sure it's a tough life, Daz. So we got people betting into us when we have got not quite the nuts, but a very nutty smelling hand. So I think what we're going to do here is just kind of max out the betting and deal with things as they go. That went well for us. 6-3 ace over here with some backdoor club possibilities. I want to see one more street at least. And we're out of there with the 9. That kills all of our hands, basically. Shoving the ace-jack in the Premier League. I think that's the right move on the small blind there. Pretty much all the time. I mean, I'm over 10 big blinds, but not that much over 10 big blinds. And I think it tends to look weaker than that hand actually is. Ace 7-3 in the Raz. That's definitely going to be a play. That's a pretty risky raise. It's especially true when that comes out. I think now that they're in the raising wars, we're going to get out of here. Go, go, hammer. And Hammer, you're actually above starting stack because starting stack in this tournament is 2,500 chips, and you're at 2839. So you're actually above starting stack. Just for the record. I, however, am below starting stack and need to improve. Friend of the stream, Steve Opick, is right on starting stack at 2,500 chips. Loopy Jen labeled as friend of the stream. Yes, $21. 21 whole dollars. They're real dollars too. One of the nice things about not having a huge audience on my stream is that I don't have to answer the "is this for real money" question over and over and over and over and over and over again, the way poor Jamie Staples and Jason Somerville and people like that do. Clubs developing over on the high-low table. Still got a decent low draw happening. The low is ahead of, we're one card behind, but all of our cards are ahead of Webb's best hand. So I think that it's still something that we're going to see streets on. The pairing the 6 is obviously not the best thing because our lows are getting worse, but we are now drawing flush. The problem, of course, is that Webb is equally flushed to us and is on the ace, which makes our king look a lot less a lot weaker. Not weak enough, obviously, that I can fold, which is the worst part about this, because it's basically one of those situations where I'm putting money in, um, and then bricking out at the end of the day as well. I mean, I can't even beat his pair of twos if that's all he's playing. I can't even beat that at this point. Oh yes, I can with a pair of sixes, but still, I don't think he's playing the deuces very often. Yeah, he was flushed outright for fifth. Flushed outright from fifth. Deuce three in the prim. Get rid of that, I think. Ace 9-7 on stud. Get rid of that on the stud table, I think. No, start with 2,500, Hammer. do do Daz and Hammer know each other in the real world? That would be kind of funny. That'd be pretty coincidental if that was the case. In case you're not watching the chat, Hammer, Daz is asking if your surname is Haynes, uh, after recognizing your screen name as Loopy Jan. Eight four ten in the Raz. I think we get rid of that. I am 18th of 19, doing very poorly in this one. Yeah, I think your screen name confused me for a bit there, Hammer, but I did realize that you're. I still have a tendency to call you she for some reason on the stream though, because and it's the screen name that it's the star's name that confuses me. So I do apologize when I do that, and I do try to correct myself when I catch myself doing that. So I do know it's the screen name confused me at the beginning, and it's kind of stuck in my head. 456 Raz, we're definitely playing that one, especially just for a bring in. I mean, we wish we were playing. I mean, wish we were playing stud high low here. That's a much stronger hand than stud high low, but it's still pretty strong in Raz, so I'm happy to be there. I don't know, that king 10 shove over here, that might have been a pretty weak, or that might have been a pretty spewy shove. Now that I think about it. Oh, this is going badly. Alrighty, well, we're on one more break, so I'm going to take a couple of couple of custodial duties and turn the camera off, and I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm going to be back on cam here shortly. I'm just not quite back at my desk yet, doing a few run-around things before I get back. And just running back to my desk when I hear the beep come off. Oh, I need to pay attention to what game I'm playing. I just folded a pair of nines and limit stud. That's probably not going to be the best move all the time. Yeah, I agree. Jamming 4-4 from the blinds is usually going to be a good idea. I tend to agree with that. Um, and I think, yeah, in the king 10, it's no damage. One of the reasons I think that the shove might have been the bad move there is not so much that I lost the pot and doubled him up, but more so that I pushed the person to my left out of the pot in the big blind. And if I just call, then maybe the big blind calls and he knocks that player out instead of me doubling him up, if that makes sense. So I think that was necessarily think that shove was wrong um, because of um, because it was weak and spewy. I think actually calling and being in that pot was a good idea. Um, but shoving was spewy because it pushed the big blind out of the pot, and I actually wanted the big blind in the pot because I wanted two chances to knock that player out. I think shouldn't have been quite so selfish and wanting to take it down all myself. Is my thought. Hey, awesome, Steve-O's at your table. Tell him to come watch the stream. I don't think he's watching tonight for some reason. I don't think he got the I don't think he got the message. Yeah, I probably should have just shoved that myself. That's pretty silly. Raz, ace four. I think I can get involved with that. See one more street. I will be back on cam here very shortly, folks. Not too much longer. Pair of aces now with our ace four. Not really liking that very much, so I think I'm just going to get out of the way here. Don't have enough chips to really play around too much. Oh yeah, Dads, there's some terrible, terrible stuff on these prem tables, no question. Oh, geez, this is a tough spot. 10 big blinds is going to be shoving a lot lighter than King Jack, but I think I'm going to fold it this time. So we're playing an 85 on the Raz table at the moment, which is probably not good right at this moment, but I think I'm obviously drawing to good hands, which I didn't hit. And I think I'm just checking behind. Even though I've only got 100 chips left, it's not worth the risk, or 200 chips left, it's not worth the risk. I know I'm going to lose that most of the time. And I was losing long before that happened too, I think, so. Doesn't look like it's going to be me today, Hammer. It looks like, if anybody, it's going to be you. Looks like Steve-O's having his troubles as well. Shovey with the deuces, I think, here. Ace 4, I think this is the one that we're getting our chips in with, and let the chips fall where they may. Surprised nobody raised me to get me all in there. That's pretty shocking, actually. Surprised nobody called my shove there. Not going anywhere in this pot. Nothing I can do, really, at this point. Just up to the poker gods now to run out for me in this one. Aces and sixes now. Our low draw is developing badly. Playing for the 1155 pot at the moment. That's a good card for our hand, clearly. I think that's probably a shove into any player other than the massive stack Mickey. I think against Mickey, I can easily fold that. And we're done in the triple stud. That was fun. It's the way it's going to go sometimes. Nothing we can do. Steve-O's done as well, looks like, sadly. Alrighty, so we're going to keep playing the Premier League here. So let's make the Premier League bigger. We will get rid of the triple stud lobby, and that should bring up the, did not bring up the Premier. Oh, that is very close. 10-9 is going to be really strong against his range.